How come Tupac was murdered and John Lennon was assassinated? What is the difference? Personal versus political motives of the killer. It's semantics. Kind of comes down to personal interpretation. Both Lennon and Tupac's killings have been referred to as murders and assassinations. The consensus though seems to label Lennon as being assassinated and Tupac as being murdered. To be assassinated, the victim typically has to be some sort of prominent figure whose death will have widespread repercussions. Both men here fit that. The motive for the killing is where the distinction lies. Murders are usually personal or for personal gain. Assassinations are political or religious in nature. Mark David Chapman apparently was upset by Lennon's lifestyle. He found it hypocritical that he preached about wanting a classless society and supported a communist ideology, but lived a rich and lavish lifestyle. Chapman also took offense to John Lennon saying the Beatles were more popular than Jesus, and said God told him to kill Lennon. Tupac's death is still unsolved. I believe most investigations came to the conclusion that Tupac's ongoing feud and very recent fight with the Southside Crips were the cause. A very personal revenge killing. Side note, we also know Lennon's killer's middle name, which seems to be an earmark of being labeled an assassin. Perhaps if the catch who killed Tupac and we all learn his middle name, we'll all switch to calling it an assassination. I think it has to do with an assassin is usually not expected to be coming and has a clear pre-determined target. According to how people say Tupac died, it was retaliation from the fight in the casino. John Lennon had no prior relationship with who killed him. I would have put Lennon in the murder category too personally. The definition of assassinate is verb, assassinate, third person present, assassinates, past tense, assassinated, past participle, assassinated, gerund or present participle, assassinating, murder, an important person, for political or religious reasons. The organization's leader had been assassinated 4 months before the coup. NGL. The definition of assassin or assassination is really dodgy. Like some people say it just means hitmen, hit respectively, while others say it's just killing an important person. I don't really get it either. I don't know much about Tupac, but I can say that John Lennon was also just simply murdered. An assassination is when someone kills another person for the explicit purpose of the political effect their death has. The person who killed John Lennon was just a nutbar who had no real reason to do so. Don't think I ever heard the word assassination for John Lennon. Generally just the victim's world status. Political figures are assassinated. Everyone else is just murdered. According to my dictionary, to assassinate equals to murder an important or famous person, especially for political reasons. To murder equals to kill SB deliberately and illegally. So it's almost the same. But assassinate can also have a bit more of a political flavor. I'm pretty sure both words can and have been used for both cases. It doesn't really make a difference which one in those two cases, because they both were famous. So assassinate is correct, but it's also a murder because they were killed illegally. They were both murdered. An assassination was incorrectly used to define the killing of John Lennon. You are correct, as it would appear Tupac was killed by a hitman. The National Security Archive has the best explanations and documents about the differences. Remember, it was a journalist who first said assassination regarding JL. They used the wrong term. Then everyone followed along. Words are important. Chris Rock's got a bit about this, rolling on the floor laughing. Every time I kill someone I wonder if it's personal, political, or just my kink. Tupac was shot because he assaulted a gang member like an hour prior. John Lennon's was planned, Tupac's wasn't. John Lennon was killed for political reasons, which constitutes an assassination, but we don't know the motivations behind the killing of Tupac, so as a result our best bet until we know for sure is to classify it as a murder. Perhaps also, Lennon was targeted by his assassinator who killed him in cold blood, and whom was caught. There was a trail of evidence. With Tupac, he was murdered by unknown. Was there ever anyone held accountable? There is no factual trail which connects the victim to the one who pulled the trigger. I don't know if this is what determines the terminology. Also, if I am wrong about the Tupac case, please let me know. I have watched some of the documentaries and there are real speculation but nothing conclusive. Another sad tragedy. Pensive face. Tupac attacked a rival gang member and they retaliated. I think that the difference is that an assassination is murder committed to meet a large scale and usually very public goal. The victim is carefully picked because of their public standing. For example, to make a political statement or change political outcomes. JFK. Get the attention of the world so that a famous actress would admire you. Lennon. Anger at the changes happening socially and financially and wanting to maintain the status quo. MLK. Malcolm X. Medgar Evans. Whereas murder is to satisfy themselves. Their motives vary. Sociopathic. Greedy. Compulsion. Rageful. Selfish. Jealous. Entitlement. Need to use chemicals and then drive. Avengement. Revenge. Etc. Had Lennon been killed by his neighbor because he wouldn't turn down his TV, and the neighbor was enraged, then the neighbor wouldn't have assassinated him. He wasn't killing the public figure. Lennon. He killed his neighbor. John. Who won't turn the damn TV down? Since Tupac's murderer hasn't been found, nobody really knows if it was an assassination or a personal beef over a casino fight. Motivations and intentions may have something to do with it. Great question! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Semantics. Dead is dead.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.